We got our first practice battle rep today. We have the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus versus the Chaos forces of Slaanesh in the Emperor's Children. We will be playing Tipping Point Linchpin. It is Mission C on Layout 2 of GW's Layout Pack. For the Emperor's Children, we are going to be playing Court of the Phoenician, led up by our partially built and painted Fulgrim. We've also got a Mauler Fiend with Magma Cutters, a Winged Demon Prince, Lucius the Eternal, 1, 2, 3 squads of Tormentors with Meltaguns. For purposes of this practice battle, the ones with the two-handed bolter will have the Meltaguns. And then we have 1, 2, 3 squads of Noise Marines with 2 Blastmasters each and a Lord Cacophonist. Riding in 3 partially built and painted rhinos.
All right, everybody. This is the Adeptus Mechanicus army today. We have a lot of proxies, but we're still working on it. We're going to have 2 Unger Doom Crawlers with neutron lasers. We're going to have 3 units of Sukarki Rangers, all kitted out the same. We have 2 cybernetic data smiths, 2 Skartos. Hold on, let us find the name of these guys. Sidonian Skartos. We have 1 Caladeus Assassin. We have 2 units of Castellan robots, all kitted out the same, along with some proxies. And we also have a proxy knight today, a Knight Castellan.
We rolled off after deployment, and I got the first turn with a 5. So here is deployment. We have this Demon Prince with wings hiding here. We got our Mauler Fiend. We have a squad of Tormentors infiltrating on a objective. We got a janky Rhino full of Noise Marines. Fulgrim, because there's not really a lot of places that I can hide him against this army. Another janky Rhino. More Tormentors on a point. Then we've got Lucius the Eternal. He has Lone Op, so he's just kind of standing there. That is in reserves. Another unit of Tormentors, and then going over to the Admech side, we have our Caladeus Assassin, our Knight Castellan, our Bug. What is
Skydonian Skrotos.
That's a Skydonian Skrotos. We got all of the Castellan Robots. Is that what those are too?
Those are as well.
Castellan Robots. Then we've got some Rangers hidden there in the corner. More Rangers. We got our 2 Dune Crawlers, including this gorgeously converted one. Very, very awesome. And another unit of Scouted Up Rangers. All right, I'll be back to you after command phase. All right, my command phase is over. I don't have too many shenanigans to happen in my command phase, but I did draw my cards, and I got Overwhelming Force and Storm Hostile Objective. With the shooting X of his army, my movement phase was boring. Tormentors, Demon Prince, Rhino, Fulgrim, other Rhino, Tormentors, they all stayed the same. We only have a minor movement from the Mauler Fiend. Lucius ran up to hide in this pocket. This squad of Tormentors is going to try to get a Caladeus Assassin, and that was my movement phase. So my Tormentors charged his Caladeus Assassin after a pretty pathetic shooting phase. The only thing that landed was a single plasma shot, and she saved it. The charge phase happened. She took out this poor gentleman with her Fight's First ability. My Obsessionist proceeded to do nothing, and then my 3 guys landed 8 wounds and took her out, giving me both Secure or Storm Hostile Objective and Overwhelming Force. On to Dylan's turn.
All right, you guys, over into turn 1 of the Adeptus Mechanicus. So we drew Recover Assets and Engage on all fronts. Other command phase abilities. Our Data Smiths are going to go with the additional toughness for the robots, and for our detachment roll for the override abilities, we're going to go for stealth on the robots, stealth on the second unit of robots, and then we'll pick a 3rd unit, and I'm feeling like these little Rangers are going to need some additional stealth, so we'll override them as well.
And then for me, I only had one thing to do during his command phase. Fulgrim will be choosing to be -1 to hit.
All right, you guys. The Skydonian just moved up. We're going to tag the objective. The Knight and Stellan moved over for better shooting ranges. The robots have moved over and are going to engage the Tormentors. The Rangers are going to provide buff benefits to both units, the robots. We have Rangers in the back. The Unger Doomcrawler have moved for position. The other Rangers have also moved for position. And then our second Skydonian has moved up and just barely tagged the center. With his lone op, hopefully he survives. All right, you guys. After the shooting phase, the Knight Castellan has taken out the Tormentors and 3 of the other Tormentors. And that's it. He really didn't leave a whole lot left for anybody else.
Turn 2 command phase for the Emperor's Children. We pulled Area Denial and Marked for Death. I didn't like Marked for Death. He chose some bullshit, so I burned Marked for Death for a CP. And now I have Secure No Man's Land, which is entirely possible. Emperor's Children movement phase on turn 2. We moved the Demon Prince up here with an advance. We took the Tormentors off of that point and put them up here. We moved that Rhino full of Noise Marines up. We got a pretty healthy advance on our Mauler Fiend, staging him for the middle. Lucius to support in the middle. And the 2 Tormentors are going for these Rangers. Tormentors valiantly fired a bolt gun and a plasma pistol at these Rangers and did absolutely nothing. But our Mauler Fiend absolutely melted this guy, dealing at least 16 damage with the Meltaguns.
All right, you guys. During the fight phase, the Castellan robots have defeated the Mauler Fiend. That's right, baby. The robots have done it. The Mauler Fiend did take out one of the Castellan robots, and we are going to consolidate onto the point, perhaps take it back off of Lucius.
So with the way that combat went in the middle, he was able to consolidate onto the middle objective, denying me Secure No Man's Land. No, denying me big Secure No Man's Land. I still have small Secure No Man's Land. And denying me big Area Denial. So 4 points for the turn instead of 10.
Right, turn 2 for the Adeptus Mechanicus. We have scored 13 primary points. And for our secondaries, we have drawn Area Denial and Behind Enemy Lines. Now we have discarded Behind Enemy Lines, and we drew Mark for Death, which was Fulgrim, the Rhino, and the Noise Marines inside. My Gamma target is going to be the 2 Tormentors over here. For our army abilities, we have gone with the Data Smiths. This unit is going to go for the +2 melee attacks. The Far Castellan robots will go for the +2 to their ranged attacks. And for our override abilities, we're going to go for the +1 toughness to both Castellan squads and this handsome unit of Rangers.
And I once again am choosing fights first.
All right, you guys, end of movement on turn 2. The Knight Castellan has moved up along with both squads of Castellan robots. The Sidonian has moved back. Ron has rapid ingress, a Rhino full of Noise Marines. We spread out just a little bit. The Rangers have also fallen back away from the Tormentors and have gotten themselves onto the point. Let's go to that shoot phase. Let's see if we can do some damage. All right, everybody. We had a pretty good shooting phase. We ended up taking out the Tormentors. We destroyed the Rhino. Only 1 Noise Marine was killed on the way out. We did no wounds to Lucius in the shooting phase. During the charge, we did tank shot and caused a little bit of damage. He fought first and destroyed the Data Smith and wounded a Castellan. And upon the robots fighting him back, Lucius made all his saves. Lucius is alive and going into turn 3.
Turn 3, Emperor's Children command phase. I drew engage on all fronts and recover assets. And you know what? I'm going to live with it. All right, Emperor's Children movement phase over. This is a big move. I'm gonna make this my go turn. I moved Fulgrim way over here to help me score more points on engage in all fronts. I moved my Noise Marines out of the Rhino over to here. I moved the other squad of Noise Marines from there to here to get line of sight on those robots. I moved my Demon Prince up and my Tormentors over. Lucius backed out of combat using Thrill Seekers and is going to go after those robots. This Rhino moved over to go ahead and get a tank shock on him, maybe. And my other squad of Noise Marines is ready to drop the base on the other squad of robots. All right, had my shooting phase. This squad of Noise Marines fired into that squad of bots, took some damage off of one bot, but that's about it. This giant chunk of Noise Marines fired at those bots and killed one bot, and I think wounded another? No, didn't even wound the other. And that is it for my shooting phase.
Admech, turn 3, we drew Bring It Down and Establish Locus. Command phase abilities, we are going to go with the detachment rule for the overrides. We are going to go for the additional toughness on 2 units, the Castellan robots, and the second unit of Castellan robots. We also scored a big 15 primary points for owning all 3 objectives in No Man's Land and including the home field. End of the Admech's turn. The shooting phase. We ended up taking out Fulgrim with the Volcano Cannon coming from the Knight Castellan. Cleansing. We only got one cleanse with the Sidonian. Ron overwatched with the Noise Marines, ended up battle shocking the Castellan robots, stopping them from cleansing in the middle. We completed cleanse and a no prisoner, scoring an additional